Hello, Food Chat family. Thank you so much for tuning in to Food Chat's monthly podcast episode. This month, episode number 8. Yes, episode number 8. Girl Talk, completely uncensored with my forever friends. I've known these ladies for over a decade, and we had such a blast recording this for you all. We take a dive into relationships. It wasn't a deep dive, but that's to come. Don't worry. I hope you guys really enjoy this content, and please don't forget to comment, like, and of course, share this with friends and family. I thank you all in advance for your support, and enjoy. Very first, Stephanie.
Hey,
say
y'all.
hello, Stephanie.
Hello.
Nikki. Say hi, Nikki. And Gafara,
Hey.
aka G Baby.
Can I have gotten an AKA? What is my AKA?
AKA Cupcake.
Well,
So, AKA Nikki. So I'm interviewing my friends this episode. We're doing very much a girl talk, very uncandid, very minimal editing will be done here because I want you all to kind of get like the real deal, okay? So I have a couple questions lined up. This is all uncensored. There's a couple bottles in, so they're not going to be shy with their answers. So obviously, when girls get around, we love to talk about men, right? So my first question for you ladies is, what have your experience been with dating in 2020?
Show that ring, girl.
Hey!
She ain't dating, she's married.
So, of course, I'm married. So, I mean, dating has been definitely different. We really haven't had a lot of time for us to go out because of, with the social distancing, and we honestly are really kind of trying to stay away from others. Mm-hmm. So we, our circle has been kind of small and close, but we're spending a lot of time together.
So how long have you been married?
We've been married now for 2 years.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So we're really just spending a lot of quality time together.
That's
and
good.
it's working out.
Okay, thank
Cheers
you.
to that.
Cheers. Yes.
Like,
What about you, G?
Dating in 2020? I don't think I've done much dating in 2020, but I've tried the whole online dating.
What app have you used? Tell us, girl.
I think the app that I've used for quarantine was BLK. It's supposed to be like
Black People Meet?
It's not really called Black People Meet, but it's called
Black
BLK.
Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter Meet, yes.
Let me find that one. But I don't know. It's just dating now in this millennial age is just so hard and so different because I feel like a lot of people or a lot of men are not straightforward. It's just like, all right, we're gonna chill, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do that, but we're not gonna call it what it is because solely they want to be able to do their own thing, like that. So it's been hard. So I haven't really been much dating, but online dating. So that's really it.
Okay, thank you.
That's not bad.
What about you, Cupcake?
Well, dating for me has been kind of sort of non-existent right now because as many of us have been doing during quarantine or COVID-19 season, etc., we've been just taking time to self-reflect. So for me, what I've learned is that I need to learn how to date again because it's been so long since my last relationship. So I'm like, you know what? Let me learn myself again and then put myself out there.
So you're dating yourself right now.
Pretty much,
Yes,
dating
girl.
myself.
Okay, cheers to that. All right, thank you. So while we're on you, my next question is, what do you wish your mom or elders told you about men when you were younger?
I would like to say maybe that they're not as mature as women. They don't mature as fast, as quickly as women
Girl,
do.
tell me about it.
And I think that I wish that they would have told me that because I feel as though earlier in my past relationship that I thought that he was moving the same speed that I was, but he pretty much really wasn't. He was just, not to put anyone out there, but just going with the flow and just doing his own thing. And I was more looking towards, marriage. But even for me, because I can't put the blame all on him, I feel as though that I should have been focusing on myself and purpose as well. So I just wish that they would have told me, you know, that men don't really.
They just move slow.
Pretty much.
Slower. Okay.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yes, I think I would definitely have to agree with Stephanie. Definitely, men are like a whole different species.
Mhm.
They don't even.
That Y chromosome. That Y chromosome, girl.
You know. And so, I mean, I think they. You know, the thing is, what I've noticed is that sometimes they need a lot of. I think we expect so much from them, and we expect them to know like what's going on, and we really have to do a lot of talking.
And this is coming from the married woman.
Right, from the married woman. Right.
Yeah, so it's like we expect that they get it, but they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't, you know, they don't even think about the things that we think about. Like, you know, to them it's just like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we have to do a lot of talking. So yeah, definitely. They don't.
And when you say talking, do you mean like explaining?
Explaining, yes.
Teaching.
Explaining, teaching.
Everything.
Sometimes you gotta be the mama and the wife.
Right.
You know? And then, so yeah, definitely it's a, you know, I don't know, you'll never stop talking as a wife.
Okay.
So they say you never stop talking as a mother, but I think as a wife too.
You heard it from the wife herself. All right, thank you. What about you, G?
That men are just like kids. Like, no, seriously, they literally need to be. I don't want to use the word trained because they're not dogs, but you know what I mean. But literally, they need to be taught everything, like literally how to love you, all these things. Like I wish we knew that because a lot
You
of times,
teach somebody how to treat you.
yeah, but I think a lot of times like we expect them to just get it, like she was saying. We just like you know how we get it, like we're like we have those
Like,
motherly
how do you not
instincts,
understand?
like right.
Like how do you not know?
Right. We expect them to
They
get
don't
it,
know.
but they just need that extra push. They just need that extra push to get it, to get there. Like we just need to teach them. That's what it is. I didn't.
It's almost as if they require more work than we do.
They're like, I would say like they hands-on learners. That's what they are. Hands-on. They not just telling them. They need to see it.
Well, do you know the reality is men do and boys learn differently than women.
Yeah, right.
You know, so it's like there's a whole nother side of the brain that we overall, and I'm speaking from like an educator standpoint, have to activate.
Yeah. Right.
So men do learn differently from women. So you know, and I'm not sure of the technicalities, but there is like a lot of science behind that.
And I think it's also very important because we always say a lot of times that they should learn our love language.
Yeah, girl, love languages. Yes.
It's important that we also learn their love language.
Yes.
With them, because that's very important.
Yes.
So if you both take time to learn each other's love language,
Absolutely.
then that will help too.
I agree.
Yeah, you have to.
Do you guys all know your love languages?
I know mine.
What is yours?
Party time, like
Really?
like I need time. Like we don't even have to be having sex. Like you could be sitting there playing the video game. I like
You just want to be up under
it could
them.
just be a time. Like we don't, no, not all the time. Like I don't need. Like, I need my space. Like I need the time to miss you.
Right.
But like sometimes I just think that time. Like we don't have to be open each other. Like just sit there. Like enjoy. Like you could be on the game and I'm doing some work on my computer, but we just in each other's presence.
I know.
Enjoy each other.
I like
know?
that.
Like
That's
that.
fine. Mine's is love of is it love of affirmation?
Words
of
Affirmations. Yeah, so I like for you to, I know that they say actions speak louder than words, but I like to hear those words. Tell me that you love me. Tell me that you miss me. Tell me what you want to do to me. But
what you want?
I like that too.
yeah, mine is words of affirmation.
Physical touch.
So.
Seems like it's the.
I like touch.
No,
no.
I like touch.
I mean, you have a primary and then you have a secondary. For me,
Mine's
Usually
is
we
quality
have all of
time,
them.
and my second one is quality time. So my first is words of affirmation, and then quality time.
Essentially, we all have all of them in us, but we just have one that takes,
a little bit superior than the others. What about you, Nikki? What's your love language?
It's been a while since I did it, but I believe it was words of affirmation for me as well.
What's your husband's primary love language? Putting you on the spot there.
Words of affirmation. No, guys like that.
No.
They love words of affirmation.
They do.
They love when you tell them.
They want to build up their
Honestly,
ego.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. But,
Words
you
of
know,
affirmation. Okay.
They
I mean,
want you to
for
tell
me,
them,
like that.
baby, you put out that trash really good.
You put it down last night.
Like they need to hear it, right? They need to hear.
Right.
I mean, for me, my primary is quality time, and then secondary is
I'm surprised receiving gifts not one of them.
I mean, I love gifts, but I feel like for me, gifts have to be meaningful.
Okay.
Because I'm a meaningful gift giver.
Right.
You know,
right,
I'm not
right.
like, but so I feel like buy me gifts, spoil me. And that's wonderful. But
so spoil me needs to be up there as part of the love languages.
I think it's gift giving. That would fall under that category.
Okay.
Well, with like gifts given, the way I am with gifts given is I think I do it with all my friends too. Like if you say something like, oh, like I would like to have this, but I
you
can't
pay
get
attention
that,
to
get
detail.
it. Right, because we could go with her because her baby shower, she was like, oh, all we're missing is the baby chair, and she didn't even know I was getting her the chair. Like, like I listen to my friends because I think that also, like, I know we're talking about men, but I think those love languages also works with your friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with your family, with your close-knit
Yeah.
people. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so moving on to our next question. How big is sex for you in a relationship?
I think at a point in time...
Wait. She said I need to refill my cup. All right. Go ahead, Cupcake.
It used to be important to me, but it's not like super important as it was in the past for me. Where I am now in
Tell
my
us more.
single season.
Tell us more.
What I will tell you more of is I think that is not as important to me because where I'm at in my journey right now, I've been abstinent for maybe about 3 years now. So
Woo, praise God.
So discipline, self-control is really important. But yeah, it's not that important to me, but I of course want a partner, a future husband that will be able to put it down. So
that's exactly what I thought about. So can I ask, like, what made you get on this journey of like abstinence and reframing from physical activities with men?
Well, what happened was back at the end of 2017, literally going into 2018, I felt a shift in my life, like something was getting ready to change. And it's crazy because it didn't happen like in the new year. It happened like later on, like literally the end of August, summer 2018, that I had a new encounter with God. So as I was talking to you guys earlier, going through the Pray for Your Future Spouse Challenge, which was only 5 days, just learning how to get whole and learning how to heal from your past and just different things that are pivotal and important to you. Just learning about just getting to your future spouse just made me think like, okay, maybe I need to change the way that I'm dating. And that played a major role. And then also reading this book.
Wait, I'm sorry, because nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So
Facts. And then also reading Devon Franklin's book, The Wait. I was like, dang. I want that.
We had that conversation.
So wait, no, but it wasn't that book, though. It wasn't that book. I think the other book, what was that other book called?
Oh, no, it was, not The Wait, because I read The Wait. It was,
Todd, whatever his name was.
Michael Todd book.
Michael Todd.
That book
But what was that book called?
It's called The Wait by Devon Franklin.
No, the other book, though.
I forgot. Oh,
the man that got her, though.
Something like that.
How to get a man. It was something
like that.
That book was horrible. That book was horrible.
I love the book, but
it wasn't horrible. The book wasn't horrible. The thing about these books is that they're showing you how to date God's way. So if you're on a path where you want to date God's way, then they're going to be good for you. And I think that that's where I am. Are
you saying that I wasn't trying to date God's way? Because that book was horrible. Wait a minute. Because, hold up. Because
just because it's not exactly, God's way, the way that they're, writing it out in these books doesn't mean that you're not going to receive God's best still.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, go ahead. Just
going back to the question that you asked, that book and that Pray for Your Future Spouse Challenge is pretty much what led me to... Can you
reiterate the book? Because I cut you off. I'm sorry.
The book is called The Wait, basically talking about honestly waiting until marriage to have sex, because in the waiting season, the single season, you're learning about yourself, you're getting whole, you're healing, you're focusing on purpose, so many things that you're doing during that time. So wait for God's best, pretty much. So yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like that's the journey that you're on? Like the goal for abstinence for you is like marriage?
Yeah, definitely.
Girl,
100%.
you inspire a lot of people out there, especially people that are, no, I'm serious. For some people that are like, they don't know where to start, they don't know how to do it, and you've been doing it for a couple years now. Yeah. Is it hard?
It's not hard. It's really not. I honestly didn't think that it would be hard because obviously there was a point in time where I wasn't having sex, but when I was having sex, of course, I mean, I enjoy it. It's not like I don't enjoy sex, but it's just different. It's a different feeling, a different vibe, and just, I know that it's right for me because I'm not missing, I'm not missing out. I feel like I'm not missing out on anything. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right, G.
So here's the thing. So, sex is very big for me, but I don't want sex, like, when you're first starting to date, like, I do not want sex to be the base, what is it called? The foundation of the relationship.
Yes, come on, foundation.
Like, right. I don't want us to have a relationship based on sex. Because what happens when...
Do you have, like, a waiting period?
No, I don't have a waiting period.
Mine's is 90 days.
I don't have
Okay, Steve Harvey.
The reason,
I mean, I think...
Let me tell you why I don't have a date.
Go ahead.
But with me... It just happened that the waiting period happens because I'm too shy to, have sex on the first date or whatever, or second date.
Ooh,
but I'm too shy for that. I'm just too shy for that. But what I noticed is these men don't be caring whether they have sex with you the first date or 6 days later.
I think there's a difference. I don't
know.
I think I mean
I wouldn't know because I haven't dealt with it. Like,
some men will probably just respect you a little bit more awaiting. Not saying that they won't. I mean, they probably won't, honestly. If you just drop
the reason why I'm saying that is because the only reason why I'm saying that is because
I've actually think they care.
I've actually spoke to a person.
Don't get me wrong. There's some who may.
No, I was saying because I specifically had a guy tell me like half of them, they don't really like whether they have sex with you on the first date or like 9 days later. That doesn't really matter to them. Like that's just not what's going to determine if they're going to be with you or not.
They think you a hoe if you pop it open on the first date. I'm sorry.
I mean, wait.
Not all of them, because I know people who pop on the first date and or like
not all.
Yeah, that's what
I wouldn't do it because I'm too shy for that. Once again, I'm not initiating anything.
So for you, so going back to the initial question, how important is sex for you?
It's important. I just don't, like I said, it's important. I just don't want it to be the base of, I don't want our relationship to be rooted on sex. Like if we don't have sex for like, especially when you have kids, people would think in relationship you having sex,
but you don't
back
have
to back
kids
every
yet,
day,
right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I think for people, I think it also depends on like the dynamic of your relationship and your partner, right? So it's like
with me, sex is not, like I said, like
when you're dating, sex can be a distraction.
Sex is not my like for me, sex is not my most important thing. Like there's other things, there's other ways to stimulate my mind.
Like what?
Like conversations, like especially with me, like I'm really simple thing, like a picnic outside. Let's go hiking together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, quality
go back
time
to that quality
is my
time.
thing. We don't have to be having sex all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good sex. That's a bonus that comes with a relationship. Like it's not what it's all based off. Like we're not gonna survive just on sex. Like what happens if you're not having sex for a couple of days? What happened then? Do you still have that connection?
I think it all depends on the consistency, because I know people that are in relationships and sex goes downhill for them, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is boring now.
I just don't want that to be the
foundation.
Foundation of it. That's not it. Like,
okay,
we're gonna have sex though, but they ain't gonna be the foundation.
I know that's right. Okay, thank you. So, married lady, tell us.
So, I'm gonna agree with these two ladies. Sex should not be the foundation.
Yes.
Sex should not be the foundation, but the thing is, when you are in love, sex is so much better.
Talk to us.
She married, so talk to us. What can we do?
You can have sex with somebody and you think it's amazing, and oh my gosh, you're stuck on that person because you think the sex is so good. But trust me, when you have sex with somebody that you are in love with, it's different.
It's different.
How different? Tell the people.
We got the Holy Ghost on this one.
Y'all mind if the wig flies.
Baby, take it on.
Right? It's like Right. It's just like, it's not just the body at this point. It's the mind. It's the spirit. It's everything.
Speaking of the body, but someone who knows your body and knows what to do with it.
Mm-hmm. No selfish lovers. 2020.
Yes, right.
When it's deep and when it's the feelings connected.
Learn
your
partner's body. Learn their body. Learn what they like.
When you're in love with somebody, it gets better. Even if it's not like every day. Maybe in the beginning it's every day, and then you get married, and then it can't be every day. You got kids, it's not every day, but still, it's good because it's just the person that you love, and they understand you, that you understand them. You know what I mean? It's like once you're
that grown
there,
woman talk. Talk that grown woman
Hello, yes.
Right. So that's just that.
So what I hear you saying, it is very important.
What I'm saying is what's important is the love, and that is what is going to bring the happiness when it comes to the bedroom. Okay. All right.
So then, at the end of the day, maybe sex isn't important. Then ultimately,
it's important. It's important. It's just not the. Like I said,
like you said, it's not the foundation of the relationship.
But it's important.
So when it happens, when your foundation of your relationship should be love,
right?
Regardless, whether you build the love through, if you're spiritual and you have God in the mix, because that is what is really important. Because trust me, when things aren't going right, you need to be able to go down on your knees.
Hold on, Nikki. You got to do it. The praise did.
Wait, go down on your knees and do what?
Wait, where's this going, guys?
Go down your knees.
Wait. You got this one about the praise dance, catching the Holy Ghost.
You about to start dancing it.
I mean,
this one going on your knees. What
I don't know.
No, go on your knees for prayer.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, got
I
it.
don't know what everyone's, religion is as far as like those watching, but it's important to build a relationship based on God and to have God in the midst of your relationship, because beyond everything else, that is the only thing that's going to matter. When things are not great, because sometimes it won't be, you need to be able to talk to God.
Yes. Pray
That
over
is
your
who,
spouse.
right.
Come on, Nikki, drop the gems. Drop the
I know
gems.
you guys was bringing up the books earlier, but
Okay, so
I read the book. There's a book about the praying wife.
What is it called? Is that the title?
The Praying Wife.
By who?
Oh gosh, I forgot the author. But there's a series. There's the Praying Husband. There's Praying for Your Children.
So Google it, guys.
So for those of you who married, you can look into
it's
that.
Important.
But it tells you.
It
tells you about praying for different aspects of a relationship. So you're praying for that person's career. You're praying for them spiritually. You're praying for your children. As far as so all these different things. You're praying for them when they are. When they're being tried,
and
they have
Stormy O'Martini.
Yes, Stormy. That's what it is.
Thank you. And she just Googled it.
Yeah.
But question.
Hello.
So do you guys believe in
Amber
having
Burn,
an equally yoked partner?
Say that one more time.
Do you believe in having an equally yoked partner?
Oh, 100%.
And can you define equally yoked for my viewers?
Like for the people who are religious, like she was saying, like I don't know what your religious background is, but equally yoked, somebody who believes in the same belief as you do, or you guys on the same page, because could you see yourself dating somebody who was an atheist or something like that?
I think that's the only I don't know
like
if it's a denomination, but I think that's the only religion
That
for
would
me
be a
that's off the. I mean,
So,
for me, I've
even
dated Muslim men. I've
like-
dated men who believe in God but don't believe in.
Yeah. So, could you see yourself dating somebody who's an atheist, or Muslim, things like that?
That's a no for me. Well, can you guys date an atheist?
No, definitely not.
Okay, well, yeah.
Absolutely not.
But when you talk about equally yoked, I think for me, I think about all religions, and as long as you believe in God, it does get a little bit more complicated.
Definitely.
If you're Muslim and I'm Christian and we have a baby.
It's like,
what's the baby gonna be? You know what I'm saying?
Christian
It's like,
Muslim.
Right.
all these things come into play when you gotta raise your kids. It's
Right,
you gotta
right.
think about your kids.
But is that a deal breaker for you?
And you don't want to resent anyone either.
My thing is, I can't do somebody atheist because in my house, like the Bible says, in my house we will serve the Lord.
As
for my house, we will serve the Lord.
Right.
So I can't date
Clearly
nobody.
we're all women of God.
But,
Right.
I am a Seventh-day Adventist, but if everybody who knows me, I'm a very liberal Seventh-day Adventist. I'm not really conservative. So like, if you're Baptist, like things like that, like I don't mind dating somebody like that, but Muslim, atheist, I just don't think I can do it. But
what about Buddhists?
To each his own.
No.
No. I mean, for me, I feel like as long as you believe in God, I feel like that's like, the most important part to me.
Do they believe in the same God you believe in? That's the thing.
Their God,
like,
does he work like your God?
Right.
Because I know the way my God works. I don't know if your God works like my God.
People make up God.
I mean?
Because even if you read the Bible, like when they made the gold statue and everything, people believe in different gods. So like, what God are you praying to? Like, I need to know. Like, I could be praying to, you could be saying your God, but your God could be the gold calf that you made over there.
Right.
Like, which God are we praying to? Like, I need to know.
The lowercase G God, not the big G.
I need the, my God is the uppercase G.
Right. And everybody to each its own for me. But I feel like as long as you're a good person, because I know a lot of religious people that are just bad people. You know what I'm saying? And they believe in Jesus. They go to church every Sunday, and they're real phony. And they're womenizers.
Occupying them pews. Occupying them pews mean nothing.
Exactly. So for me, I feel like your relationship with God and your relationship with other humans are more important.
Of course,
in my opinion. That's why I consider myself to be a little bit more spiritual than religious.
Right.
That's what.
But religious people don't like to hear that.
I like to believe that you find the best and the worst people in church.
Yeah.
The people who know the Bible and live by the Bible, and the people who hide behind the Bible.
I've been living
stay away
more,
from me. You hide behind that Bible, stay away from me.
So there are some people, okay, who live in church, and they will tell you that what you doing, girl, you going to hell.
Right. We don't know what until you got your closet.
What are you doing?
Right.
Okay, what did you do?
Only God can judge me.
Exactly.
Right.
And there's only some sins that some Christians recognize, and others they don't.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that alone.
So we'll
That's for another time.
We'll have sex before marriage.
Now, as for me and my household, we're going to keep our last closed.
Drive the order.
According to what Nikita said, if there's love there, then it's gonna be really good.
I know that's right.
I can't wait till
Maybe you
honeymoon
know
night.
they had to have a little something there before.
You can't wait till honeymoon
I'm
night.
just kidding.
And then it doesn't even go up.
Hello? Talk about it, okay? We gotta test drive the car before we buy it, okay?
No, I do not think, honestly, I think that if you are head over heels in love with that person, you're gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's small. Even if it can't. Hold up. Wait, no.
The size of the boat is the way you ride the wave, right?
Even if you can't stay up.
Right.
It's not,
Even if
it's not how many waves are in the sea now.
Don't listen to her, y'all. Don't listen to her. Please. Next.
Wait. So, do you feel the same way, Cupcake? That it's really like it's going like.
But I'm. You already know I've had sex before, so.
But I was saying, because now that you obviously have made
God is gonna
this
bless
covenant
her.
that you're waiting to marriage, do you fear, or do you at least think about like, yo, what if I get to marriage night or wedding night? I mean,
in the past I used to, but I just believe that when I find my future spouse, or when he finds me, whatever way it goes, that passion will be there, so I don't need to worry about anything. I don't need to focus on that area, because I think that I don't want to sound naive to it, but at the same time I just think that it'll be right for us.
It's gonna work out. Okay, guys, all right. So we're winding down to the last question. I want to thank you all. So my last question is, and I'll start with you, G.
Oh, wow.
So for men out there, what advice do you have for men out there? Either you're dating or in a relationship, but speak to your own kind of experience, because you're a single millennial, you got your own stuff, you got a master's degree, you got a career going on. What advice, you're a world traveler, right? Like, snap it up for my friends, yo. Like, so like, what advice do you have for men in your caliber, men that you date?
Don't be scared.
Okay.
Yes.
Right,
I think that's
Don't
really
be scared. Y'all be intimidated by
Anything.
but how independent a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm independent, don't mean you can't do for me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can have my own, but don't mean I don't need you.
I need yours too.
I'm in my bag, but I'm in your bag too.
Hello. Right.
Like, don't be scared. Like, feel free to approach. You know, I'm single.
All right, single. I'm gonna tag her IG. What advice do you have for men that are looking to get married, or advice for men in general that are dating out there? What advice do you have for men?
I think, it's a transition, but it's a journey that you're taking with someone else. So you have to really, try to have that relationship with the other person that, you guys are on the same page. The most important thing is that you're on the same page. You have the same goals. Our goal is to make it. And, the other day I was talking about, like, a friend of my grandparents. And he just passed, like, the husband just passed away, but the wife is still alive, and they've been married for 70 years.
70 years?
70 years.
Wow.
Like, what?
Wow.
70? Wait, 70?
2 years. Yes, 70.
Somebody been married for 7 years?
2 years is an accomplishment.
It's an accomplishment because they said 2 years is like the hardest to get
72
through.
days.
I don't know.
72 hours.
Whoa. 70?
70. So, people do it, and
That's a
we
blessing.
can do it, okay, as millennials. I know we see it's very common that we see these people get married and they don't make it past 5 years or whatever it is, and they get a divorce. But you have to be invested. You have to have the same goals. You know what I mean? If it's something that's important to you that you were willing to take the step, then you got to be willing to work for it.
Ooh, I think for me, my advice would be don't be afraid to feel. So similar to what Gafara said about not being afraid. Well, Gafara, what exactly did you say, girl?
don't be scared. Like, just
don't be scared, but so don't be afraid to feel the emotions that you're feeling. And then also, don't be afraid to settle down, because I know sometimes you're surrounded by different friends or just the way that you've been, brought up. And sometimes you just feel as though, okay, I didn't see this person get married, or I'm not around these people who are married as well. So sometimes we're like, okay, I'm just going to continue to do me and not, get married, or just not, date or get in a relationship that is, long term. So I think that I would say men need to not be afraid to feel every emotion. I guess don't be afraid to be quote unquote soft. If you need to cry. If you need to yell, but not yell at a woman. Don't hit a woman either. But yeah, don't be afraid to feel, and also don't be afraid to settle down just because you don't see it around you. Learn yourself, get to know yourself. Again, don't be afraid to feel. So.
Okay, awesome. So I have a bonus question. Okay, go ahead.
To this, and this is something like my husband and I have talked about, is like, I feel like as a married man, it's hard when married men have single men as friends.
Hello.
So, I mean, my girl's here. That's different.
And we all single.
It's different between men.
And we all single.
Your
And we all
Your friends
single.
will check you, but the guy friends, they don't be checking them.
And I also think that sometimes they are not as supportive, and they don't understand, like going back to what I was saying before, is that sometimes we expect our husbands or our boyfriends, whoever we're dating, to get it. And they don't understand the dynamics of a relationship or a marriage when they're single. Because it's like, okay, why you gotta go home at this time?
Especially
Because if I don't go
aspiring
home, I
to,
can't get in the house.
Be married.
Right. What you say?
I said, especially if they're not aspiring to be married anytime soon.
Exactly. So I think sometimes it really is worth it for you to take an effort and reach out to, if you know somebody that's married. Maybe you should start building relationship with people that you see who have been successful
That is very true.
and have in
and
marriages.
build that like mentorship almost.
Right. So you see somebody that says, "Oh my gosh, he's been married for 20 years." You know, I wonder how he does it. You know what I
And
mean?
marriage isn't for everyone either. So just like they say college isn't for everybody, marriage isn't for everybody either. So like you said, the mentorship, like just being but around some couple who has been married for a decent amount of time and just learning them and just being like, okay, maybe this is for me, maybe this isn't for me, and just experiencing what they may go through, what they allow you to see. So I think that marriage isn't for everybody, and also just being around people who are married to get that experience.
So I have a bonus question. What advice do you have for women out there?
Fall in love with yourself first. Fall in love with yourself first.
Snap it up.
And fall in love with yourself first.
Okay, thank you.
I think one thing that's really big with quarantine that I've learned is I've got a chance to be with myself and be alone and got to know me and what I like, what I would tolerate and what I won't tolerate.
Right.
So I think that's really big to get to know yourself. Because if you don't love yourself first, how do you expect to love somebody else?
Exactly.
You hear that, ladies? Fall in love with yourself first.
Definitely, you need to know what you're willing to accept.
Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables, but also you need to show people, like we were talking earlier about, teach someone how to love you. You show people what you will and you will not accept.
Right.
Okay, because the minute you start making little tweaks here and there, then that's okay. But what you know, right? Because then it's like, well, why you want to switch up now? You understand what I'm saying? So definitely, you need to let people know what you will not accept. Yeah, and I mean, just give someone a chance. You know, it may not be the way you expect it to be.
What you trying to say,
It
Nikki?
may
What
not
you trying to
be.
say, Nikki? What you trying to say,
It may not
Nikki?
be who you expect
What you
it to
trying
be,
to say,
where you
Nikki?
expect it to be, when you expect it to be. It's just, it just happens.
I think another thing is also for men and women. So this is for both sides, is just to be your authentic self, because you want someone to love you and like you for who you are. You don't want to be a false version of yourself and have to live up to that.
Trying to be all
really
perfect,
not.
right?
So, on before the first date, because we're going first time.
No,
I don't need to be
ain't seeing me with no bonnet.
I need to see how you look like, who I'm going to be
Until
meeting.
you take me out on a couple dates, then you can see me with the bonnet on.
If you don't love me,
I don't know about the bonnet thing. Let me see how long it was before my
if you don't
with a bonnet.
if you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
When I
Okay,
wake up in the morning, I ain't gonna look like that.
I know that. Look,
But you think? I mean, nobody here.
I'm just messing with you. Don't worry. It's the first, even that
Nobody
FaceTime
here.
call, I'm gonna get myself together.
hello.
Nobody here is like a whole different person when they take off the makeup.
You're
So
right, you're right.
so I'm sure when they see us without the makeup, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this woman is really beautiful."
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna probably bump into them without makeup on. So hey.
look.
I mean, if you're gonna date, you're gonna definitely bump into me.
But you're not gonna go on a date first. You're
you're
gonna
right.
meet them somewhere, and then
You
they're gonna
know,
eventually
and
ask you on a date.
the other thing I noticed,
Sure, I'm
is
still thinking that I'm gonna bump into my husband at the grocery store because I'm always there. But
and I ain't gonna have the makeup on.
And what grocery store do you shop at?
you don't need to know.
You never know. Your husband could be
Yeah, but I don't want no
watching.
stalking
Your
either.
husband could
The
be
future husband,
watching.
Damn, I stop right there.
What shop right? What shop? Which one?
You gotta go to New Jersey.
Right. At least give us. Okay, is it Essex County? Is it Union County? Essex County. All right. There's only.
a few.
There's
I don't know
a
how
few.
many shop rides Essex County.
There's
You better
three.
go to them.
There's three. East
So we all
Orange.
shop there.
No, there's East Orange. There's North, and there's West
You
Orange.
heard me? We all shop
All
there.
right.
So
only
come
three.
find us.
All right.
Livingston.
That's
yeah.
far out.
We
Four.
don't go there.
We don't go there.
Actually really nice.
We don't go there. All right, guys.
What was I gonna say? What I was gonna say was a lot of men who tend to be serious and ready to settle down, they don't care about the makeup thing.
They don't.
No.
That's what I've learned about men.
You're not
They
the
be
men
like-
who are, they still living the high life.
Yeah,
Like,
they want like a little
That's one
arm
thing you
candy.
They
learn
want
about
somebody
men,
that looks good all the time because
We
they
ain't
want
doing
what they
that.
want and
We
they
ain't
They
about
want
to
arm
go.
candy. They want the trophy
That's
wife.
one. That's
Right.
one thing you learn about
But
men.
men who are ready to settle down, who have that whole spiritual thing, They don't care
Come on,
about the
spiritual
makeup.
man.
It's not important.
So,
I need a spiritual man at home and a spiritual man outside and a freak in the bed.
She done messed it up already.
Look, okay.
Yeah,
So,
but he knows what he got.
so look, y'all. So we're about 4 bottles in, and Gafara's about to start.
Wait.
200 words per minute.
200 words per minute, like Nikki said. All right, guys. So
I need you friends, clearly.
So I want to thank you guys.
Why?
Look at this, y'all. So I want to thank you guys for being my special guest for episode number 6, Girl Talk / Hot Seat.
Right.
Episode, what's the 6? I'm sorry, I've been drinking. Episode number 8. Thank you, Nikki, for the correction. Episode number 8.
This will not be the last time that you see us. We'll be back.
All right, okay.
You might speak at the wedding next time, but
Who wedding?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whichever one you're covering. I'll be sitting up there drinking my wine.
Right. Look. So where
working hard.
can we find you, Cupcake?
You can find me on a few places actually.
Okay.
Reflections of Steph. Reflections_Steph is my main page. I'm
On what platform?
on Instagram. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Pierre on Facebook. Reflections of Steph on Facebook. Also, I'm a makeup artist and event planner. So Reflection Perfection Events, Reflection Perfection Beauty. You can also find me there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the main ones that I really be on. So,
Okay, you see her face is beat, so she will
so
beat
you
your
better
face. Right. So find her, follow her. Thank you. G?
where can you find me? Facebook, which I don't really use a lot. You can find me. I'm still Layla Rondo on Facebook, so you guys can find me there. And on Instagram, hold on. Okay, on Instagram, I am Farrellocks. You can find me there. Or you can follow my 2 business pages, Details Boutique and Pretty Little Deets for event planning.
Okay.
That's
you.
And find me on Twitter, Farrellocks. That's it.
Okay, thank
I
you.
didn't know that was
That's
you. I'm
you.
like, who was
Where
that?
can we?
Steph on Twitter too.
Oh, reflections
Yeah.
Of Steph.
of
The
stuff.
same name
All
as
right,
Instagram.
thank you. And Nikki, last
I
but not
don't
least.
really have a business, but you can follow me still. I am Nikki _Slims on
I was thinking
Instagram.
something Nikki Smiles.
I thought it was Nikki Smiles too. Honestly.
Nikki Slim.
Nikki Slim. All right.
We didn't know that.
Nikki Slim. All right.
She just had a baby, and look at how good she was.
Hello.
baby
Hello. What baby? Yeah. But okay. Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, she
So
clearly don't want to be found.
so then.
She already found.
No, I mean, well, I don't have the whole thing. When I get my stuff going, I'm gonna come back to Vanessa's page and hook y'all up. Okay, I'll let y'all know the little details.
All right. So say bye to my people, y'all. Bye.